Hey everybody, it's Ryan. Welcome back to How Farms Work. Today we are in my truck and we are headed to Sloan Implement in Bloomington. Travis ordered a wedge kit for the 9510 combine, more specifically for the corn head. So in previous years we've noticed that our corn head is pointed a little bit too much to the ground, and we're not sure if it was just designed that way. It is an older model corn head. However, we really want to get the head more parallel with the ground, because what we've noticed is that when we're going through spots where, or even if we're just going fast with the combine, the ears will have a tendency to bounce back out of the corn head and back onto the ground. So to kind of counteract that, we're going to mount a wedge kit on it, which should help bring the head more parallel with the ground, and hopefully that'll decrease our grain loss. We've done things in the past, such as mounting the yield saver brushes on the corn head, as well as fixing the rubber flaps that are supposed to prevent the ears from bouncing out. But there's only so much you can do, and hopefully by putting that wedge kit on, it should help alleviate those issues. What do we have here? Look at those monsters. So it looks like I came at the right time. They are unloading an Unverferth 1160 for somebody. I don't know who, but it's a nice grain cart, let me tell you. It's very reminiscent of when we got the 672 of mine. We had it brought to Sloan's and they unloaded it for us. But that is one nice cart. 1160 is about 1,100 bushel, and for us that is a monster of a cart. This unit has a controllable spout, so you can control the angle when you are unloading into the semi, which is really nice. I bet the 82 could pull that. Here's an 8295R on the lot. Looks like they only got a couple here out front anyway. Got that 82 there. This is a 6145M. A loader tractor would be really nice. But haven't gotten a chance to drive one of these. Tractor like this would be really nice for just being like a chore tractor, and it's kind of weird just to say that, because chore tractor now is 145 horse, whereas when I think chore tractor, it's just like 90 horsepower, you know. But that's the trend: more horsepower and lighter frames. Well, that was really cool. It's always awesome seeing a newly born grain cart take its first few baby steps. So now Sloan's are going to put the lugs that came with it on, which it has diamond tread. So Ryan did me the favor of putting the wedge kit in the back of my truck while I was ogling the grain cart. Is it John Deere or is it like aftermarket?
It's Lakota.
Okay.
So Lakota produces it. Like I said, it's supposed to increase 6 degrees on the corn head.
6 degrees, awesome.
Yep.
So we're gonna head back home with this and open it up, see what's inside.
Have some fun.
Have some fun. All right, thanks, Ryan.
You bet, no problem. Thanks, sir.
If I had to upgrade my grain cart, this is what it would be, which is pretty much just a souped up version of mine. Got a rolling tarp on it, adjustable spout. Looks like a nice fit on that 8295R. Well, that was unexpected, but it was really cool seeing them take that grain cart off the truck trailer and pull it behind the shop. So now I don't know what else they have to do to set it up, but it should make a farmer pretty happy this fall. Now, a question I get asked a lot are what kind of upgrades we're looking at for the farm, and it ranges anything from, you know, upgrading the combine, the 9510 to maybe like a 9670. We want something that can tolerate a 12-row corn head. In theory, a 9510 can. However, you don't hear or see too many guys doing it, especially on places with our hills. Now, the reason I'm interested in this cart so much is just because if I had to make an upgrade here in the next few years, on one of the things that I own, it would be the Brent grain cart. And the reason being is because I just bought that cart in 2016. 3 years later, we've already outgrown it. The reason I bought the grain cart back then is because we were hauling around grain wagons to all the farms along with the auger, and we would use those to load the semis up, and it was a lot of work and it took a lot of time moving the grain wagons around, emptying one, pulling the tractor ahead with the wagon train on, and unloading them one by one into the semi. Whereas with a grain cart, it's a lot more straightforward. The combine can just dump into the grain cart, and the grain cart can hold what it needs to hold until the semi comes back. And since our semi can hold up to 1,100 bushels or so, an 1,100 bushel grain cart would be the perfect fit for our farm. And that's the big reason that I took an interest in this 1160 Unverferth, is just because that is perfect. To get back on track, we are going to take the truck back to the farm and open up that box and see what is in a wedge kit. I'm telling you guys, she's gonna make a farmer very happy this fall. $96.60 over there. Got a versatile on that side of the road. There's just not a lot of tractors at the implements in our area right now. Shame. While I was up getting the wedge kit, Travis has been working on getting the wagon ready. So what did you...
Ryan, aren't we going to use your truck for everything? We aren't going to use a outdated way like that to move grain, are we?
Well, the thing is that Travis's driveway down at his place is a little bit too steep for the semi, because I've seen other semis...
Okay, we've
What?
had semis up my driveway before, because some of your older viewers are going to notice that.
Yeah.
But what is special about your trailer that we can't get it up my driveway?
Well, my grain trailer sits a little bit too close to the ground. It's a commodity hopper trailer. So it's meant to haul commodities, and commodities are typically lighter than corn or beans, and depending on what you're hauling. And you want to have more volume in your trailer. So a commodity hopper sits lower to the ground. It sits higher up as well. That's why this fall the trailer won't look like it's filled all the way full. It's going to look rather empty. It's because of the sides, but I'm going to be hauling full loads. So.
With that little bitty Freightliner?
It's a little bitty Freightliner.
Yeah.
Might take me 10 minutes to get up.
Dicky Hill.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter as long as you're moving it. Mm-hmm. All right. First thing we're going to do is open up the instructions and throw them away. So all it does is goes in this bottom end down here. Really simple. But the reason that we're going to be doing this wedge kit is simply because we have these brushes on all the row units, and the problem we have with them, even though they do work great, what happens is they don't really provide much of an area to really bite and grab the ears of corn and bring them into the head. So as much as we'd like to think those little rubber flaps are going to keep the ears from falling out of the front of the head, they don't, especially when you already got how much material coming through. So it's really disheartening seeing 200 bushel corn rolling or sliding out the front of the corn head. So what we're looking to do is actually have these a little bit leveler, flatter as we're going through the field to help the ears get pulled into the head.
Because this corn head has quite a good pitch on it, especially when you're going downhill. I mean, it's pointed down pretty far. So
we're not on flat land. I mean, what do we got? Like 5 acres. It's actually flat.
Yeah, basically. Shouldn't be too hard.
No, and you're gonna find out, because guess what, everybody? Ryan's putting it on.
Woohoo!
Otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and say that with everything Dad and I just did yesterday or last night, the combine's ready to go. So we're really just in the
waiting for it to dry up.
Yeah, if it was actually dry enough, we could be. It's cutting beans. We won't be doing corn before beans. If it was decent enough to cut beans, the combine would be rolling right now. But it's just, well, you can see the humidity. It's just the humidity is terrible.
Yeah.
So I don't sweat this easily just from opening up a cardboard box, I'd like to think. But oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. All right, carry on.
Look at these pictures in the instructions. You might as well be standing 20 feet back saying, put a bolt in on the right. Oh! What's that? Is it flush? I'm working on installing the main assembly, and the instructions aren't all too clear. What they didn't specify is to make sure that you put a washer in these bolts. So I gotta go through and take all of them out, put them back in again. Instructions said I didn't have to remove these. My experience said otherwise. I now have the wedge kit fully mounted, and we have to do some adjustments yet once we hook it up to the combine. Then I can go ahead and finish tightening some of the things down, but pretty much it's just an extension of what was on the head itself. So this is meant to keep the feeder house away from the head. All in all, it wasn't real too bad. The instructions were fairly straightforward.
Is it a one-man job or a two-man job?
Like 1.5, because you can do everything yourself except for lifting it up. It is pretty heavy once you get everything set, because you need to get all the bolts put in, like it all put together, and then you need to have the whole thing lifted up from the bottom and set it into place, because you need to have it pretty well level.
Looks like you did good.
So we should be pretty well ready to go, but unfortunately it's going to start raining here in the next 2 days, and they're calling for 3 inches. So hopefully things start to dry up here. Now that it's October 1st, we're seriously looking at starting harvest. That's usually a good average for when we start looking at the crops. So Travis said that we just had some of our corn checked for 28%, which is still really high. But on the plus side, we're looking at doing the beans first. They're supposed to be further ahead than the corn. So if we can knock all the beans out, that should give us time, give the corn time to dry down. So we're gonna go ahead and start backing things back into the shed because they are calling for rain. We want everything inside. So Dad went to Menards and he got a 1,000 watt replacement LED bulb. So it's actually a 175 LED, and that thing is bright. We've still got 4 lights that I want to mount in front of the door here for when we're working. We didn't get around to it this summer, but it's on the schedule. Sensing some jealousy. Everybody cross your fingers and hope this will secure on. Well, it definitely gets the head more level, that's for sure. Yep. I think it helped, but it isn't a 100% solution. The angle of those rows is just very, very steep. Before I let you guys go, I just want to let you know that I am doing a special run of How Farms Work t-shirts on our store. If you guys are interested, we now have, for a limited time, not John Deere green and definitely not Case IH red How Farms Work t-shirts on our store. So if you guys are interested, head over to howfarmswork.com. There's a link down in the description. If you're interested in purchasing a How Farms Work t-shirt, go ahead and check them out if you're interested. I don't know if it's going to become a permanent thing or if it's just going to be a special run that I do once and they're gone. So if you're interested, head over to our website, check them out now. They're going to be high print quality, like the shirt I'm wearing. This is an older one. Actually, this is about 3 years old, and you can see how well the ink is actually holding up. I wear my shirts pretty much every single day, and they hold up very, very well. So with that, I'll let you all go. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Be sure to check out all of our other ones. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, all How Farms Work. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to tell a friend about How Farms Work. With that, thanks for watching.